And now, ladies and gentlemen, entering the arena, please welcome the defending champion. He is a southpaw with an undefeated professional record, 19 fights, 19 victories, 13 of them coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and proudly representing his home of Kiev, Ukraine, please welcome the 2012 Olympic gold medalist, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, and the reigning, defending, undefeated, and unified heavyweight champion of the world, Pani Taponova Vitayo Oleksandr Usyk.
And here comes Oleksandr Usyk wearing the colours of freedom, the unified heavyweight champion of the world, the IBF, WBA and WBO heavyweight champion to be precise. Flashbulbs are going off all around us. Again, the atmosphere and just the sheer amount of camera lenses trained on the Ukrainian is simply staggering. As he just makes sure his shoelaces are done up, he wears one yellow sock with a green dinosaur on his right foot. And of course it won't match on the other foot. It's a green one with yellow dinosaurs on the other one. He's a colourful character to say the least, as he fist bumps with Badu Jack, who will be part of the undercard. No. They share a nice conversation there. We've got a bit of pad work from Anthony Joshua. It'd be interesting to see what we get from Usyk. I have to say, previous experience will tell us he won't do a hell of a lot. He's not got his hands wrapped, for example. He hasn't got a training team in the ring with him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, hands aren't wrapped. I don't think we're going to see a whole pile here. Maybe a few little tricks, bit of stretching.
Yeah, I think there's a fitness video in the making here. This is star jumps. Just loosen up the arms.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of shadow boxing, because he's loosening up, he's warming up.
Fascinating what Alex Krasiuk had to say. I mean, one thing I would say from both promoters, they talk a brilliant game. I mean, they had me at hello. I mean, Eddie Hearn convinces you that Anthony Joshua's going to win, then Alex Krasiuk convinces us that he's lying.
But you can make a strong case either way, can't you? So it's easy. Get swept with whichever guy, especially when they believe in their man. They can totally convince their guy's going to win. And we can see how both guys can win. So it's one of those fights. I mean, he's shadowboxing here now in the orthodox stance. I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, I said it before. We said it with Paul Smith was with us as well. I just do not see this fight going 12 rounds. I think whatever happens here, I think we're going to see a knockout.
So Oleksandr Usyk just loosens up, starts a little bit of shadow boxing. Part of that tremendous Ukraine amateur setup, a superb elite international amateur with a long career in the vest, the unpaid code. You pretty much won everything that you could win as an amateur. Those of you that were lucky enough to see him box in the WSB, the World Series of Boxing, I was lucky enough to be there that night at super heavyweight. Jumped in against Joe Joyce just to prove all the way back then that he could do it before he turned pro back in 2015. Obviously, his cruiserweight days were phenomenal. One of the great cruiserweights. I don't think that's really up for debate. But what was up for debate is, could he make a transition from a fair-sized cruiserweight to be an effective heavyweight? Those questions are probably answered now. Chaz Witherspoon, Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua. You would think now that he is quite rightly considered one of the best heavyweights in the world, if not the best heavyweight in the world. Tyson Fury would obviously have something to say about that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was interesting early on. I mean, outstanding cruiserweight. You know, he stepped up for Chaz Witherspoon. You know, it was a lacklustre-ish performance. He won and won convincingly, but he didn't look $1 million that night. Then he fights Derek Chisora, was put under a lot of pressure by Dalboy. You know, he won, but it was a hard night for him. I don't think he's ever have to work as hard. And then going into the fight with Joshua was the favourite in the fight, but you know, he came out, he took the centre of the ring, won the first 4 rounds. AJ comes back in the middle part, but then Usyk ups it and finishes really closes the show with a really strong final round. And you know, now he's really sitting on top of the world. Obviously Tyson Fury as well, but with him vacating the Ring magazine and retiring, you know, this guy now is the #1 guy in heavyweight boxing, and you know, I think a fairly strong favourite going into this fight. But certainly we don't want to sleep on Joshua, because I think whatever happens in this fight, though, you know, it's going to end in knockout. I don't think Joshua can beat him on points, but at the same time, and in that, you know, Joshua's looking for the knockout, and you know, his team believe he's going to get it.
Any new fans to the sport will be watching this and they'll think the guy that's dancing with his own unique style mixed in with some shadow boxing with dinosaur socks on, they will think, wow, this is the heavyweight champion of the world. He does things his own way. He's a brilliant character with a brilliant attitude towards the professional sport of boxing, which we all know is an incredibly dangerous, violent sport. But Oleksandr Usyk, it's like it's a game to him. It's like every single second of what he does here is pure enjoyment. And I think that comes across in everything that he's doing here. I think we're going to see the coin trick, Matt. Let's see. This is a reaction trick, or it's a magic trick, and I'm going to look stupid. Wouldn't be the first time in my career. But I think what you'll see here is the coins being balanced on his arm. He'll then throw them in the air and try and catch them. So that's 2. Here comes an attempt at 3.
The unorthodox stuff that him and even Lomachenko and that school of thought, you know, a lot of brain training, unorthodox little things, you know, hand to eye coordination as well, balance, the agility. I have to say I'm really excited for this fight now. You know, I'm getting more excited day by day. Speaking to, you know, Robert Garcia earlier, I thought he spoke well about AJ. Watching Usyk here and AJ hitting the pads, just really, really starting to build now.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, nice and loud, the reigning, defending, undefeated and unified heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk.
So we'll just wait for Oleksandr to pose for a few photos and then get him over for a quick chat with his manager alongside us as well, Alex Krasyuk. It's been a long time coming, this fight. There's been all sorts of speculation about what he'll weigh. I wonder if he'll be able to tell us. Oleksandr, just 2 minutes of your time. It's been very difficult the last few months for him. For all of you, how pleased is he that fight night is now here?
Було досить складно останні кілька місяців. Наскільки ти задоволений, що бій вже зовсім незабаром?
Я дуже задоволений, що бій зовсім незабаром. І тут дуже гарно.
I'm very pleased that I'm gonna fight very soon, and I feel happy about that.
Has it been difficult to focus on boxing at any time the last few months?
Чи було складно зосередитись на боксі останні кілька місяців?
Ну, я це зробив.
But I did it.
People have been talking about his weight a lot, what he might weigh, pictures of him. He looks pretty big. Any chance he can tell us what he's going to weigh?
Багато фотографій, відео кажуть про те, що ти ніби збільшився в розмірах. Чи буде це якось видно на вагах? Можливо, ти скажеш нам дещо раніше, чи будеш ти більше важити?
I think he's asking me to guess, which I'm not sure I could really do.
You'll see it on the scales.
How much did he learn from that first fight with Anthony Joshua? How much did he learn about Anthony Joshua in that first fight?
Як багато ти вивчив про Ентоні Джошуа в першому поєдинку?
Я за ним 10 років спостерігаю.
I've been watching him for 10 years already.
Okay, he's keeping his cards close to his chest, which is understandable. Just one final one. Everybody in Ukraine is going to be able to watch this fight for free, which is fantastic. How pleased is he that that's the situation?
Будь-хто в Україні зараз зможе дивитися цей бій безкоштовно. Наскільки ти цим задоволений?
Дуже задоволений. Слава Богу за це. Ми всі над цим попрацювали.
I'm very pleased about that. Thanks God for everything. We all worked hard on it.
Okay, thanks very much. You made me work hard there, but that's no problem. Best of luck on the night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, great to hear from Oleksandr Usyk there via his translator, Alex Krasyuk. And one thing to take from that interview, Andy Clark asked him there, how much did you learn Anthony Joshua in that first fight? He said, we've been watching him for 10 years. I mean, I think they both won World Amateur Championships on the same day in 2011 in Baku. And Usyk came out after his fight and watched Joshua. So even back then, that seed was planted. After everything that you've seen today, everything that we've heard from everybody from various teams, where's your mind at the moment? Not saying prediction time, but you get a vibe from people. Of course, both are projecting confidence, but what are you getting from that at the moment?
Yeah, look, I'm sure he knew. When he seen Anthony Joshua back in 2011, the World Championships, he would have known that one day their paths were going to cross. And obviously they did last year, and he was victorious, you know, convincingly so. He knows that Joshua has got it all to do. He's the guy who has to make the adjustments, but in that, he's going to be thinking, right, well, if he's going to do this time, I'll do that. He'll be thinking tactics, game plan as well. So he knows Joshua isn't going to stand back and box him, and in his head he'll be thinking, and if he does, well then, happy days, that'll be easy for me. But if he comes at me, I'll be ready. You know, it's fascinating, really. It really is. You know, you listen to Eddie Hearn talk, and
I was just going to say, Matt, the beautiful pose there with the flag. I stand with Ukraine. That powerful message, along with the T-shirt that says the colours of freedom. He's using this platform, and he's using it very, very well. Sorry, Matt, I interrupted you.
No, I was going to say, you know, Eddie's convinced he's going to win. You know, Usyk's guy, they're convinced they're going to win. Everyone's chopping and changing. I think I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm convinced now. I'm convinced that this fight isn't going past 6 or 7 rounds.
Matt, sterling effort, Johnny Nelson and everybody else that joined us. Wherever you consume this stream today, I hope you enjoyed it. Join us later in the week because there's a lot more to come. I mean, we're only just getting started, but we're edging closer to Saturday night, just down the road here in Jeddah. The unified heavyweight titles. Will it be repeat or will it be revenge?